had his picture underneath the mirror.
No, the policeman didn't start all this. Sonny just had a short fuse.
Sonny would get drunk and commit traffic offenses. I don't think anybody was looking for him, but he made them look for him because of his record and because of his persona.
Liston's antisocial profile was further defined one May night in 1956 when he and a friend, Willie Patterson, were questioned by police about a cab that was parked near Sonny's home.
Liston indicated the guy was going to pull his pistol.
During that time, Sonny took his gun away from him. He said for his self-protection. The policeman was struck and fell backwards and broke his leg.
Despite his claims of innocence, the incident cost Liston 9 months in the city workhouse. After another collision with law enforcement ended with first in a trash can, Liston was given an ultimatum.
Well, this big St. Louis sergeant put out the word, Sonny, leave town or die. And Sonny left town.
Unable to protect his trouble-prone fighter, Liston's mob-connected manager sent him east for further rearing by another set of adoptive parents.
He was handed from Fatal to Blinky Palermo and Frankie Carbo, two mob figures who ran fighting in Philadelphia and virtually around the country.
Blinky bought me mink coats and diamond rings, and it was really nice. He was a gangster. I didn't know that part of him. That's the part that I didn't know.
I don't think they were fixing any of Sonny's fight. They didn't have to. When the guy going in the ring with a howitzer, you know, fixed fight, you just hope the guy stands up long enough to give the people their money's worth.
With Carbo and Palermo were roles, Liston unleashed his skill, anger, and power on the heavyweight division. The result?
Mike DeJohn was fighting Liston in Miami Beach. Somehow Mike managed to draw blood from Liston. Liston tore into him and just tore. And Sonny later on said, well, I sighted my blood, so I decided I'd show him some of his.
Everlast made 22-ounce gloves for Sonny Liston, and his sparring partners had to get chest protectors because he broke ribs in the gym. He couldn't hold back. He just couldn't hold back.
In December of 1959, Liston gained his 26th victory against one loss by dismantling journeyman Willie Besmanoff in Ohio.
All it was that just powerhouse jab, banging in the face. The nose was broken. The ear just about came off.
Sonny could hurt you. He had this scowl that he mounted on his otherwise impassive, round face. People looked at it and they thought, my God, what am I doing?
Cleveland Williams left hooks and knocked the boss down, right on the chin. And Sonny Liston never realized.
If you want to see the essence of you, throw a hook and bang. And you are gone.
Even though his answers might be
Going good, I like it.
Couldn't respond like Don Rickles or William Shakespeare. The only thing that spoke for him was fists and his brute strength.
He did not particularly care for the press because he didn't know really how to talk to the press.
Couldn't read or write, couldn't read a street sign, couldn't read a contract. He was very defensive about not being able to read the stories I made.
Described in print Jungle Bee as a, quote, latter-day caveman who came to wearing 14-inch and 19 arrests.
he may not have acted in such a way that was to his best work. It was also a guy who was kind of witty.
Westerns, there's a good guy and a bad guy. He said, I'm the bad guy. But in my Western, the bad guy wins.
Having lost so often outside the ring, the illiterate, abandoned, and abused man-child sought victory to gain any form of relief. But given the racial ethos of the 1960s, winning was not always possible for an African American.
There was an incident where he fought Roy Cut and Shoot Harris down in Texas. And the guy came up and he heard a click of a gun, and the guy says, I'm just going to keep clicking this gun until you tell me to. Sonny, beads of sweat coming down his face, said, I'm a no good young. After that he said, some part of my mind always with cats.
Liston had not 22 of 32 opponents by May of 1961, when his career was stopped dead in its tracks. A woman charged that he and a friend posing as policemen had harassed her in the Fairmount Park section of Philadelphia.
When he got caught and he got hounded, then it went overboard. People overreacted to it.
Sonny had an attorney by the name of Mort Witkin, who was one of the best trial attorneys I've ever seen. And Mort Whitkin exposed this chain of circumstances as impossible.
The charges against Liston were dropped, but the damage was done. The Pennsylvania State Ethics Commission revoked his license for boxing, and the suspension was upheld in all states.
Sonny Liston did not bring the kind of identity that black society desired. Society, all of the ammunition that they needed to talk about the black male on the loose victimizing people.
There were all sorts of demons driving him, and insecurity was certainly one of them.
And there was tremendous controversy at the time. There were stories being written, should he get a title shot? Oh, he's bad for the youth of America.
Within days, an embattled Liston left Philadelphia and traveled to Denver, where he found a friend in Father Edward Murphy, a Jesuit priest.
He had a belief and a faith in Sonny Liston that no one else really showed.
I'm convinced that he has never had anything to do with this at all.
He'd say to his priest, poor bastard.
With the help of Father Murphy, Liston's boxing license was reinstated in October. 2 months later in Philadelphia, fourth-ranked Albert Westfall in the first of a twin bill seen in theaters over closed-circuit television.
Westfall has never been knocked off his feet until now. The fight is over in the first round.
In the main event in Toronto, heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson easily handled Tom McNeely.
Floyd, what was your reaction to the fight that preceded this one? I think Sonny Liston is a great fighter and all the capabilities of becoming a champion.
The screening was piped into President Kennedy so he could watch the fights. And afterwards he said, I think the two winners should fight each other.
Customato, who was Floyd's trainer and manager, told him, don't fight Liston, you can't beat Liston. Floyd said, I gotta fight him, the president expects me to fight him.
Justice demanded that Sonny Liston have a shot because he had beaten everybody who could remotely claim to be a contender, who insisted on fighting him.
Immediately on agreeing to defend his title against Liston, the former Olympic gold medalist, the People's Choice.
It was set in good guy terms. White hat, black hat.
This is the first fight between two black men that meant a lot to the public. Which one of these guys won?
The civil rights movement is gaining strength, and blacks are really into what is known as the politics of respectability. Sonny Liston is seen as a threat to demonstrating what black people can be.
People were being sprayed with hoses and bitten by dogs, and a white reporter asked him, are you going to fight for freedom in the South? And Sonny said, I ain't got no dog-proof ass.
Sonny Liston was always seen as a thug and a hoodlum. And Patterson was always, and you wanted the good kid to win.
See, Mr. Patton, I have your autograph. Stop getting his autograph. You be getting mine soon. I say thank you, but I'm getting his now.
On September 25th, 1962, Liston climbed into the ring and stared into the eyes of his...
It looked like he was going to his execution. He went out there with all the heart and all the bravado that a person could muster, knowing he didn't have a chance.
A left, a grazing right, and a solid left to the cheekbone. Drop the champion.
The forces of evil had triumphed. Satan had defeated St. Michael. It had happened when Sonny Liston beat Floyd Patterson in Chicago.
The winner, the new world heavyweight boxing champion, Sonny Liston.
After 3 decades of rejection, it took Liston just 2 minutes and 6 seconds to capture the attention of the world. Respect, however, went longer.
After he won the title, he took a flight back, expecting to be greeted like a hero.
They open up the plane door and he looks out, and there was half of us out there, and photographers from papers, and nobody.
And Sonny realized he would always be Sonny Liston, the gangster, no matter what he did. And it hurt him.
If there was ever a chance Liston was going to change, it ended right there. And he was going to be the bad guy for the rest of his days.